Hello everyone, it's Claudia, the Organized Homemaker. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is our first plant haul of the season. I'm so excited because it means it's go time in my garden. Now, it may not be the time in your garden to plant yet, so I want to caution you. I did only buy things that I can plant out now, so even if we did get a freeze or a frost, they would be okay. Things like snapdragon and so forth. Come along and you'll see what I got. Hey everyone. Today we're at Walmart and I thought I would take a look at what their inventory is before I go in the store. I'm out by the garden center and they seem to have gotten in a lot of their flowering shrubs as well as their fruit trees. Their dogwoods are $24.94. They also have some crepe myrtles in stock. These are black diamond crepe myrtles. These are $22.88. And these bloom early summer through fall, and they're 12 feet tall by 8 feet wide. So they're not humongous, not like the typical crepe myrtles. These require full sun. Let's go back to the dogwood for a second. These get to be about 35 feet tall and needs 6 hours of sun and is hardy to zone 5. These bloom mid-spring to summer dogwood. They also have a white crepe myrtle and a red. These are $18.88. We have these Japanese maples. They say simply Japanese maple red, the Acer palmatum. Love Japanese maples in the landscape because their foliage provide color both the summer and in the fall. These get to be about 20 feet tall and about 12 feet wide. Needs 3 to 6 hours of sun daily. Additionally, they have spirea. These are $16.88. They love the sun. I will say that pollinators love these and they are tolerant of drought. These can get 6 to 8 feet tall and 3 to 6 feet wide. They need about 6 hours of sun, and they're hardies in zone 4 to 9. They also have some fruit, so edibles. These are brown turkey fig. These are $24.94. Requires at least 6 hours of sun, 8 to 10 feet tall, and 10 feet wide. These are $24.94. There's a Belle of Georgia peach, $24.94. 18 to 25 feet tall. And then they're hardy to zone 5. Needs 6+ hours of sun. They also have these humongous blueberry bushes, almost as tall as I am, for $24.94. So if you're looking to get instant interest in the garden and instant food production, then these are the bushes for you. These are power blue, $24.94. Powder blue. Needs full sun, hardy zone 7 to 10, grows 8 to 10 feet tall, 8 feet tall, excuse me, by 8 feet wide. They also have Alberta peach, and Alberta is very prolific in production. $24.94. 6 full hours of sun, 15 to 25 feet tall, and is hardy to zone 5. We've already talked about the Belle of Georgia. They have persimmon trees. Fuyu persimmon is one of my favorite. These are 30 to 40 feet tall, 15 to 25 feet apart. They can get quite large. They're hardy to zone 7, and they need 6 full hours of sun. They have a Bruce plum, $24.94. This one needs full sun, 6 hours, and it gets 10 to 15 feet tall and hardy to zone 6. I like the Bruce plum, but my favorite plum is the Santa Rosa plum. There it is right here. The dwarf Santa Rosa plum is 12 to 15 feet tall it gets, and it's hardy to -20. I am now inside, and they have a bunch of these potted bulbs for $1.37, and that's not a bad price if you're wanting color this year. In our zone 7B, this will return year after year. So they have hyacinths, grape hyacinths, which is the muscari, tulips, daffodils, and then they have these irises that are absolutely darling, and I think I must get a couple of these. I love the color on this one. Is that not beautiful? I think I'm gonna get these. They have asparagus crowns and onion sets and garlic and potatoes. Strawberries as well. They're seed potatoes. You get 5 tubers for $3.24, and they have a harvest blend, red Moreland, and a Yukon Gold. They have red onions, white onions, and yellow, and then they also have a harvest blend where you get 100. I think I may get this. Another thing that Walmart has are their bare root roses. They are $9.97. I'm at the Farmers Co-op with my hubby to run some errands. And at our co-op, you can buy bulk of many things. For example, Pro Mix with mycorrhizae. They sell it by the big compressed brick box. You have Black Cow, organic soil, potting soil, fence post, whatever you would need for whatever type of farmer that you are. You come here to our local co-op. They have silos over there where you can get huge loads of whatever it is. They also have zinc and calcium additives for your soil. So when we get our soil tested and need whatever we need, we come here and get it. But today I came looking for onion sets to plant in the garden. And one of the reasons I purchased them here is because they sell them $2 a pound. And I can make a mix and get 2 pounds of onions to plant in the garden, and I pay $4 versus $100 in a set that I just saw at Walmart for $3.23. So it makes sense to shop around and find out if there is a farmer's market, a farmer's co-op rather, in your area. Once I went inside, I realized that they were having a 50% off sale on all their beans. They had also brought out their inventory of seeds for the spring and summer season. And the thing with the co-op is they don't sell seeds year round, so you have to purchase them once they get them in. And you'll have farmers come in and buy 50 pounds of, say, turnips, because they'll plant a lot of turnips for retail sale. Anyway, a lot of it is done per scoop, where it's 50 cents or $1 or 75 cents or $2 a scoop. And what they had that I wanted were zinnias, kale, carrots, collards, and I bought one of something else. Here I'm struggling with the camera as well as my hands in order to open the bags and scoop out my zinnia seeds. I like to buy their zinnia seeds because I sprinkle those every year and they have great germination rates. One scoop of zinnia seeds, of that little scoop, is $1. By the time I scooped, I think I ended up getting 4 scoops of zinnia seeds, and then some kale, collards, turnips, and something else, and I paid $3 for all my seeds. That's all they charged me. It should have been more, but that's all they charged me. That scoop there is more than the one for the zinnias, but they have all these herbs. They have beans of different kinds. They have bush beans, they have pole beans, they have just all these beautiful things. And you can see there, that's 50 cents a scoop, you know, or if you get the big scoop, it's then $3.50. But you could technically go to the farmer's market and get enough seeds to have a decent garden and not pay a whole lot of money. I think I bought rutabagas. I think that was the other thing. I've never had, that's not true. I've had rutabagas once and I decided I wanted to try growing them and then try fixing them and see if I liked it better. I didn't like it the first time I had it, and I'm always game to try something 3 or 4 times before I cross it off my list and say I don't care for it. Oftentimes why we don't like it is because we don't like how someone prepares it. Okay everyone, let's get started with what I got today. The first thing I want to show you is from Walmart, because I went to Walmart first. This winter I lost 10 rose bushes, so I'm hoping to replace them. So the first thing I did, I bought 2 roses. I bought this one, it's called Color Magic. It's a hybrid tea rose, and I love roses in this shade. Anything that's in that pinky peach color is my cup of tea. I also got another one that I quickly planted when I got home, because on the ride home, one of the stems were broken. It's right here, and it's looking pretty good if I do say so myself. So I am really liking it. It's leafing out, and I hurried and got it in the ground. This is another rose here that died, so I'm going to be replacing it as well. The next rose that I got was called Waikiki. Oh, I'll put the name on the screen and post a picture to show you what that one looks like. Also at Walmart, I could not resist these lilies, Durango. They're so pretty. And the thing is, my favorite color is orange, or this color that I'm wearing in my top. So you will see a lot of that in the garden because it just makes me happy. So this lily, I bought these and there were 4 for $5.42. Can't wait to plant these out. I also bought these onion sets because I thought it was a pretty good deal. 100 for $3.24, and I needed to get some onions in for the vegetable garden. And then the last thing that I bought at Walmart was this peony. Now, peonies, roses, and hydrangeas are my favorite, with roses being my all-time favorite, peonies second, and probably hydrangeas third. But look at that peony. It's called sorbet. I just love this. I cannot wait for it to bloom in my garden, probably next year, but I have just the place where I want to put it. Anyway, I bought this. This was the last thing I got at Walmart. From Walmart, I went to the Farmers Co-op. Now our Farmers Co-op caters mostly to the farmers in our area, and where we live is very rural, so you see a lot of farms. But I tend to go to the Farmers Co-op to get my seed potatoes, of which they sell red, yellow, and ordinary seed potatoes, as well as onions. And their onions were way better priced than the ones at Walmart because it was $2 a pound. So whatever amount you gathered, you weigh it and you paid. All of this, which is, I bought all 3 colors of onions and all 3 colors of potatoes, and I think I did, several pounds came to $11. So that was that. I then went to the local farmers market, and the farmers market had their fruit trees in for the season. And what was interesting was their fruit trees, they sell for $11.99. I remember when they were $5.99, but they're now $11.99, and they had everything from peaches, persimmons, pomegranates, apples, pears, plums, you name it, they had it. But I wanted a crabapple tree, which is what I got. I got this Callaway crabapple tree to plant in the garden area for pollination as well as just for beauty. They make great specimen trees, and that's what I wanted. So these have a pretty white flower, but it starts out as a pink bud. From the farmers market, I went to Home Depot. Now at Home Depot, I spent a lot of time, and I was talking to the guy who provides the plants in our area. So the nursery that supplies Home Depot in LaGrange, Georgia, which is where I shopped, the plants. And what they told me was, anything that you see in the store at that time is usually suitable for that climate and even a little colder. They take into consideration the fact that they may have a few more frosts before we get out of our frost-free or last frost date, and so they plan accordingly. So these dusty millers, I left them outside, and it got down to 28 degrees 2 nights ago. It was 32 last night, so you can obviously see they're fine. But I did have them under my covered porch, and he recommended doing that since they were coming from the greenhouse into Home Depot, and then for me to have planted them out would have probably caused them to die. So I got these dusty millers. I got a whole flat of them, which is 10. They were each only $1.98, and I thought that these were nice size plants for that. In past years, because we've had such mild winters, my dusty miller is perennialized in my garden. I know in some areas, because of the deep winters, they're not considered perennials there. Another thing that I purchased were these flat of salmon colored snapdragons. Now, snapdragons are very hardy plants. They do not love the Georgia heat, so they'll take a pause during the hottest part of the summer, and then they'll pick back up in the fall. Look at all these buds and blooms that are going to come. I'm going to plant these down the front border, all of this, so that when I glance across the yard, there is some color at the moment. And that's why I went shopping, because I was tired of just seeing yellow only from the daffodils. I wanted some other color. Now this salvia does well in my yard, and so I'm going to plant this out. Need some water, it looks like, but I mean, the bees are going to be happy with me for introducing this into the garden. And I'm going to get these planted and show you where I've put everything. Now, I know this is not a pretty area, and that's okay. I planted the crabapple tree because I think once I get the siding on the well house cleaned, this would be a nice backdrop. That's my husband's orchard back here. Well, it's not his orchard, excuse me. That's the nursery for the orchard. Our orchard is over there, where you see all those T-posts. And one day when it's actually mowed and cleaned, I'll give you a tour. But the crabapple is going to be here. There's the vegetable garden, there's my office, and I figure coming up this walkway, this would be a nice focal point here. So I'm loving that. I planted the peony there, and of course the first rows of the roses that I got there. This is in front of the vegetable garden, in front of my bench, or my mother's bench. Okay, everyone, you can see my pops of salmon all the way down the front border. Excuse my mess. I still have to dispose of the garbage from when I cleaned up the bed as I went along. Now, I still have to come back in this flower bed and prune my hydrangeas as well as my roses in this bed. But got all the other things, all the perennials that needed to be cut back and all the spent stalks from last year. I did that. Don't you just love the little pops of salmon going down the front border, and then you could see the silver. The nice thing about these Dusty Millers is that they'll last through the garden season. The snapdragons, as I said before, will take a pause in the hottest part of the summer, and then they will start back up again once it cools off. Thank you so much for joining me today for the first plant haul of the season. This is the first of many to come, and I think this is the format that I'll be using from now on. I'll go to the nurseries, kind of look around, see what's there, come home, talk about the plants a bit, and show you where I'm going to put them in the garden. I'll probably show you also where in the garden there's a hole, and when we go shopping, show you why I'm choosing what I'm choosing to fit that hole. I feel like that's more my speed because I generally observe and then find something to plug the hole. And I feel like that will serve you better than just going and showing you what's on the shelf, right? So that you can understand my thought process as to how I choose a plant. If you've enjoyed this content, as always, consider subscribing to my channel. Have a great day.